Hey, what's up, everybody? Time for a workout fitness video because I've been getting asked about it again. My workouts aren't super interesting, I don't think, but because people want to see it, and again, this is what I look like now. Well, look at this. And I want you to remember that, oh yeah, remember if you like the videos, like, sub, silly comment, share, support the channel if you can. I appreciate it. Thanks. Super chat, PayPal, Patreon, super like the video, whatever. And I want you to remember that all the workouts that I do, whenever I do like an upper body thing or some kind of workout, my main goal is to never stop what I'm doing, to like keep moving. So it's kind of like an endurance thing, right? So if I were to do, let's say, if I'm going to do like some curls or a shoulder press or whatever it might be, right after that, I'm going to go right to chest because I don't really do anything for chest. Even though people say I have a big chest, maybe I don't do anything for chest other than like push ups. So I'll do whatever kind of arm muscle part I'm doing. Then I'll go right to push ups. And then I'll do some sort of ab exercise while my arms, whatever it might be, are regenerating or a little bit less tired, something like that. And then I go do whatever. So the idea is to keep going forward and forward. So you can see, what do you do before every workout? You look in the mirror and you talk shit to yourself. And you're like, you're going to do this fucking workout, dude. You have to. So again, examples. What am I doing? Doing some shoulder flies. Again, 20 pounds. Again, I've never even worked out with like 50 pounds, dude. I do very light weights, dude. But because of that, I have to do very high weight or reps, right? So you can see like some tricep press kind of thing, jiggy, right? Again, there's a curl to a press. Again, nothing, I don't do anything super fancy. We got some like a row thing. That's what it's called, right? You can see it's a row, right? Then this is a little bit different. So I'm actually taking the weight and like kind of like, because I use light weights, kind of like stabilizing a little bit. And not in this video, but another example. Sometimes I'll even use bands and I'll like do like a lateral raise with the band, and I'll do like arm circles with the band even. Again, though, I have to use lightweight because I've had surgery on my hands, and well, if you've seen my health record, you know I'm fucked up, right? So nerve damage, tendinosis, not even tendonitis, tendinosis, right? So I have. It's almost kind of like a double-edged sword, right? Or like it's almost kind of like a inevitability, and it's only getting worse because I have to use light weights. I'm of course doing a lot of reps, but because of that as well, I'm sure that's also not helping my tendon situation, right? But and again, this is just example, so I have like a perfect push-up thing, but you can see I can like switch the, doesn't have to just be like this. I could do it like this. I could do it like this, or I could do like a circle. And again, I'm doing this after every kind of like upper body or a hand or arm thing, whatever I might do, shoulder, whatever. I'll go right, I'll do some push ups, and then I'll start doing some ab stuff when my arms relax, then go right back to the arm stuff, right? So again, more band stuff. You can see some curls, nothing, nothing crazy, dude. Boo 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 boo. What we got here? Some shoulder presses again with the bands. Nothing crazy, dude. Minimalist workout thing. What do we got here? Again, more shoulder presses, I guess. Kind of like twisting. Maybe it's activating a different part of the shoulder. I don't know. I'm not very smart. I just do. I just do what I can do, dude, and I pray for the best. An example. So that's what I'll do. Like after every kind of arm thing, I'll do some sort of like sit up shit or like ab stuff to like keep my abs going, right? To while I'm like my hands are recovering or whatever it might be, right? What do I got here? I got some like flies kind of stuff, right? Or a back fly, I guess it might be. Then we got here, I got a little ball thing. So, I can do push ups on this if I want to switch it up, not just doing push ups on the perfect push up thing. That's a little, kind of like a forearm thing, right? More tricep thing. Excuse me. Getting more example using band stuff. Again, nothing too crazy. And that's why even when I travel, I don't have to do anything crazy because I just bring the band stuff. Band, band, band. Push up, push up, push up, ab, ab, ab. Band, 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 push up, push up, ab, ab, ab. You know, back and forth, that kind of thing, right? I think I do some rows here, getting more examples showing some rows. Then what do I do here? Oh, now there's an example. Maybe I don't want to, maybe I want to take a break of doing some sit-ups, so I'll just do like a plank or something. And then some other examples. So you can see like I have that little thing in my basement. So I could put it around that little pillar. I can do some rows with it. I'm going to do some back flies with it, whatever it might be. Some tricep things, you know, wrap the band around it. I got a little chin up bar. It's breaking. It's like duct taped in places. If you want to support the channel, you want to support the channel, the thing has seen better days. It's duct taped in places. But you know, I can do some chin up kind of stuff. You could also do some like some V-sit kind of things. I don't do those too much anymore because just as I've gotten older and like the arthritis and tendinosis has gotten worse, it's kind of harder to do. But I do get tempted to do it because I don't think my abs are as good as they used to be when I was younger when I was doing those. But it's just kind of it's a little just what am I gonna do, right? You know, I had that bad fall down the stairs. You know, my hands and arms are only getting weaker, so but you know, you could do, you know, V sits and like kind of like a like you're kind of climbing a stair kind of thing, right? But you know, you could see my bands are falling apart, but you know, the fact that you can see my bands are falling apart and you know what? I'm just like the bands are falling apart, but what are you going to do? Stop working out? I don't have the money for to buy all great stuff, but there you go. After every workout, you look in the mirror and you're like, there you go. Worked out a little bit, worked on the dad bod, anime dad bod, flex a little bit, pretend that you're cool. There you go. What do I do here? There you go. Respect the gains, I guess, right? I don't know. And you would be surprised, right? Like I said, well, I guess if people have seen the stories, I mean, my pictures have been stolen all over the internet. I mean, God, that one website, I was the best looking guy supposedly in the world. I was rated. And, you know, it just like mom and daughter want to bang at the same time. People spill their spaghetti all the time in front of me. It's hard to even take myself seriously. Like, that's why, like, I always say, you know, sometimes I've actually heard people actually sometimes or say, like, Clayton, why do you have such like an ego with video games and you're always talking about you're the best and you've done all this stuff? And it's like, because it's true. And they're like, well, why don't you talk about your looks or something like that? Why are you always saying you don't think you're cool? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, because it's kind of hard to take yourself seriously the way that people like act in front of you when you see that like the only thing that matters in life is because somebody thinks you look cool. Like nobody cares that I'm sick, you know? And that's why I would say like, that's why even if you saw that video of that, I guess, is she married or whatever, that girl comes up to me, starts flirting with me. It's like, that's why you saw like my reaction because like you know, growing up unpopular, you know, and just seeing, you know, to go from girls telling you're ugly, having rocks that you're thrown at your face to then all of a sudden girls like you for no reason. You know, people have tried to say that I take steroids and all this kind of stuff when if anything, I was more buff, you know, years ago, right? You know, I just don't really take myself very seriously, I guess, in terms of looks. It's hard to have like confidence when you know how fickle people are and it feels like fake. But I guess if this is motivation for people, I mean, this, you know, what I've achieved, you know, look at what I do, this minimalist workout, and you've seen just how the standard is not very high to get people to spill their spaghetti. Does that make sense? Like, now don't get me wrong, I do push myself very hard, especially because of, you know, health stuff, etc. But if you see how I work out, you know, I've never lifted 50 pounds. I don't like do squats or deadlifts or anything like that. I do some yoga. I mean, you can see here, right? Where's this working? You know, I do yoga and I do other things and um have like a ab wheel that I might do, but even an ab wheel is another exercise that has gotten harder as I've gotten older after my bad fall down the stairs and, you know, nerve damage and all this like tendinosis getting worse and worse. So There are certain things that I don't do as much. I don't do a lot of ab wheel anymore, but I do think it's effective, obviously, because when I was at my most ripped, I was doing a lot of ab wheel, But again, people ask, what do you do to work out? All this kind of stuff. And it's like, this is the kind of stuff I do. I don't do anything crazy, right? And I guess if that's motivating to some people, just shows what you can do with not a lot of equipment, right? Always got to try to be the best version of yourself, and you would be surprised that, what you can achieve despite how sick you are and, not having a lot of stuff. Again, like I said, like I said, this kind of workout makes people spill their spaghetti, right? So you would be surprised what you can do. If people think that, again, people try to say that I take steroids and all this kind of stuff, and if anything, I was like more buff and ripped when I was younger, right? So just don't doubt what you can do with minimalist stuff. Now, of course, I don't think my workout is very fun. If I could work out with heavier weights so I didn't have to work out so long, probably be more effective, right? But you gotta make do with what you can do, and you would be surprised with what you can do. But anyway, if you like the videos, like, sub, silly, comment, share, support the channel if you can. I appreciate it. Thanks. The end.